your contribution to life is going to be unique to your skills, your life experience, your interests. And life is constantly changing. The business world is constantly changing. And there are many new opportunities coming up. Artificial intelligence is computers learning by themselves, just like human beings do. And they're going to create huge discoveries that are going to completely change the way we live, the way we experience our health, education. Many people say that 10 years from now, we're not really going to even have corporations. A lot of the work is going to be done through gig economy. So keep your mind open and stay curious about the new trends, new possibilities, new opportunities, and stay connected to your authentic self, what you love to do, what interests you, and what gives you pleasure in life. Stay very connected to those and use that information to create your ideal job. Live a life of service. When all is done, what's left from our beauty, from money, from privilege, is the service that you put out into the world, the gratitude that people have in their hearts for you. We have this perception of service being provided by nonprofits. There are business models out there that actually are developed to put the best interest of humanity first while making a profit. Social businesses are like that, and you make a balanced profit, then you put the rest of your profit back into the business. And that's just one way of doing it. There are many different ways to create businesses that are also focused on providing social benefit. Take Jay-Z, for example. He's using his art, poetry, with music to inspire young people, and he's doing it all over the world. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and COO Sheryl Sandberg, you know, we love to hate them, but they're always on our minds. Why? Because Facebook is such an important part of our lives. Why? Because it provides a great service for all of us, a service that connects us with others who we wouldn't have ordinarily gotten to know. It provides businesses, small businesses and large ones, opportunities to reach their consumers. We may or may not agree with everything they do, but we love using the service because it brings goodness to our lives in one way or another. And that's what matters. We're going to remember Facebook and all the memories that we have around it when we get old. Creates heaven on earth. In psychology, there's a concept called flow. It's basically what we call peak performance, what you experience when you're at the top of your game. And back in the 1990s, Mihai Csikszentmihalyi explored more than 1,000 people who were really high achievers in their fields: businessmen, artists, activists, athletes, scientists, and to answer what it feels like to be at their best performance, they almost all of them, described a similar state that Csikszentmihalyi called flow. And they actually use the word flow, a state where they feel completely at peace with what they're doing. They're completely focused in what they're doing, and they lose their sense of ego. Sense of time and space disappears. When I look at scriptures of religious texts, I noticed that heaven is described with almost the same words: a sense of loss of time and space, a sense of absence of uh, ego, and doing becomes being. And if that's true, if we really do have the ability to create heaven on earth, then imagine our power as human beings. Everything that you think, say, do matters. Uh, the goals that you set for yourself, they matter. And if everyone creates flow experiences in their own life spheres, the world can become heaven. Beautiful place where there's peace, harmony, and life happens almost effortlessly. People describe that they don't really think about doing things. It seems like they're doing things automatically and they're doing all the right things, all the right doors open for them, and they're pushing all the right buttons in their lives. And that's a beautiful way to live. We have the opportunity, potentially, to create that together. And we start in ourselves first. Tuning into our authentic selves to find goals that really resonate in us, and to be watchful of flow experiences. Our organism sends us messages of pleasure and joy when we're experiencing flow. And a lot of us are feeling almost ashamed by these emotions when we feel them. We associate them with all the bad things in life that we do. But when you look at what we associate them with, sexuality, actually, orgasm is really good for our physiology. It's good for our cognition, it's good for our physical health. But if you put that aside, uh, alcohol, drugs give us pleasure and joy. Eating unhealthy foods give us pleasure and joy. Sugars and unhealthy food, oils and alcohol, drugs, and other substances that change the way our organism functions are ways of fooling ourselves. And we achieve that. We get to fool our organism into thinking that we're experiencing flow. But that's really not an accurate message right there. And so it's really important to listen to our body's natural messages for us, to look for those experiences of flow and bring more of them into our lives whenever we can. And ultimately, maybe one day we can create heaven on earth together. Embrace your uniqueness. We are so focused on being perfect, pretending to be perfect, not letting our mistakes be known. But our mistakes, our imperfections are what makes humanity exciting and rich. Imagine how boring life would be if we were all perfect. We would be all the same way. And there would be no creativity, there would be no differences of perspectives. Uh, Differences of gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, neurocognitive differences. These are all aspects of human experience that enrich our existence. I have dyslexia. It makes me read things more slowly than others would. Rote memory becomes very difficult with it as well. So I have difficulty memorizing things as little blocks, little chunks of information. And because of that, though, I was able to create workarounds, not even knowing that I had dyslexia. Way back when I was a small child, I started learning things in larger frameworks. It takes more time for me to learn something, but when I do learn it, I learn it in a very deep, very extensive way. For example, many people know that drinking water with lemon when you first wake up in the morning is actually very helpful for you. It improves your immune system, nervous system. Uh, it improves your metabolism. When I learn a piece of information like that, I can't learn it just like a block of information, and I can't offer it to clients like that. I have to figure out why it's so helpful, uh, how the immune system functions, how the nervous system functions, and what about those functions does water and lemon help that brings out all these benefits to people who are experiencing a lot of stress. So when I learn all those things, then I'm able to remember the information and offer it to others. The benefit this brings is I'm able to really personalize the type of interventions that I offer to people, instead of giving the same block of information to every single person that comes my way. So you never know where solutions are going to come from to various problems. And our diversity is the reason why we have so many resources to reach into when we are looking for solutions. We as humanity are greater than the sum of our parts, and I think that's one of the most beautiful things about our existence. So instead of hiding your differences, instead of being sad about falling out of the norm, embrace it, flaunt it. When you create workarounds, use those workarounds as your strengths, because they're your solutions to a life problem that others may find beneficial as well. Share them and really appreciate yourself, appreciate the perspective that you bring to the table, and make sure that others appreciate it as well. Take care of yourself first. I know this is a difficult concept to embrace because we associate taking care of yourself first with being very selfish, and that's not a good thing. But think about it. If you don't fill yourself up, as Oprah says, fill your cup until your cup runneth over, you run out of things to give. You run out of your energy to offer to people. Your solutions to life become very repetitive. You start doing things over and over and over again. Know your capacity, know your abilities, and when you notice there's a change in the way you do things, when your capacity falls below your norms, do something about it. Seek external resources, objective resources that can actually keep you in check, because very often when your energy starts to fall and stress starts to get to you, you start taking less care of yourself and you start noticing the messages that your body is sending you less as well. Have a self-care routine that includes not just your physical self, but also your emotions, your energy in motion inside your body. They actually impact your physical health as well. When your emotions are aligned with your love energy, they're centered, you actually have a better metabolism. The things that you eat don't turn into pounds immediately. You have a better sleep routine. Your energy levels are better, and your relationships with others are better. And so it's absolutely worth your time and money to take some time for yourself and your emotions, your mental health, setting your priorities in life, figuring out what really matters to you and what you're doing about it. and staying on course with that as well. Accountability is huge in self-care, and surrounding yourself with people who nurture you, support you, who bring out the best in you. There's a verse in the Bible that says you can judge a tree by the fruit it bears. Look at the people in your life and see what they bring into your life. Do they bring hatred, jealousy, pain, chaos, disorder? Get them out of your life. They're not worth it. If they bring love, connection, unity, harmony into your life, get more of them into your day and enjoy them. Experience those harmonious, loving feelings, because they heal. They actually reset our organism into taking more care of itself, to spending more energy on growth and regeneration of cells. Our neurobiology literally supports life that's filled with love and connection over a life that's filled with hate, anger, and chaos. If you notice, people who experience a lot of stress, people who work in environments like that, who live in environments like that, age faster. The skin wrinkles faster, their energy falls faster, earlier. They die about 20 years earlier than others do. So there's a lot of reasons to keep loving energy in your life and take care of yourself, and then share yourself to the maximum with everyone around you, with the loved ones around you. They're going to appreciate that